I'm back. Get ready for this creepy story. It's good to be back. I don't know when, but whenever I'll put new pictures in my intro. And sorry I've been gone since the last video was December 2020. We're not going to talk about 2020. 2020 was a crazy year, and we're in 2021, which 2021 is still a crazy year. I think anyways, I don't know. But yeah, I'm in a different setup. I'm in a different house. The last time you see me, I was in a different place, different house. So that's why this looks totally different, my setup. Usually I have a wall, which I don't have any wall space or whatever to do my YouTube videos. So I just do it in front of this window, which you probably can hear cars driving by, and I don't know. But this creepy, scary story is called The Little Girl Who Lives in the Walls. When my wife and I bought our first house, an old Victorian style built in the 50s, almost every night we heard what sounded like kids' footsteps running down the upstairs hallway and other random sounds. My wife mentioned it one of the neighbors, and they said it was probably just peacocks on the roof. The house backed up to compensate the area where wild peacocks live, and they would occasionally get up on roofs. That answer made sense, so we basically got used to it, eventually ignored it. Less than a year later, our son was born. When he was one, he would bounce all of his toys on top of the other toys and made them spin. Literally found the center of the balance of the toys and would walk in a circle around them, giving each gentle touch to keep it rotating. It was the wildest, coolest thing I ever seen. When he was 2 or 3, we would hear him talking in his room at night. And one night I asked who he was talking to. He said, Trace. I asked, "Who is Trace?" He says, "The girl who lives in the wall. She's usually nice, but sometimes she scares me." He described a girl with brown hair and yellow dress who played with him. Sometimes occasionally woke him up at night, but he didn't seem bothered by any of it. Just startling sometimes. He would talk to her once in a while, but it wasn't a common reaction. A couple years later, we added onto the house and moved the master bedroom downstairs, switching the kids' rooms around. Our youngest was now in his own room and about ready to transform from a crib to a toddler bed. She had always been a sound sleeper, but she cried almost every night in that room. Her first night in the toddler bed, we heard a loud thud followed by screaming and rushing into the room, thinking she had fell out of the bed. She was on the other side of the room, got her calmed down and back to bed. It happened again the next night, so we ended up switching the kids' rooms back and they were fine. We looked up the history of the house but didn't find any missing girls or anything with the name Trace that had lived there. Unfortunately, our son stopped talking about her, and a few years later, I ended up taking a job at another company and we moved. The house was empty for a few months. After we moved, the neighbor across the street called my wife one day and said about a week ago after we left, she thought she saw our daughter looking out in the window. So she waved at her and then she remembered we didn't live there anymore. What do you think about that? That's creepy. Just hearing noises, and they said maybe it's peacocks. And the little girl, and they looked up the history of the house, and they said there was no one named Trace there or died there or anything, which that's creepy too. And then the neighbor waved at the little girl, and thought it was their daughter, she remembered that they don't live there anymore, which that's really creepy. And what do you guys thought about that story? I thought that story was creepy, and yeah. And I'm so happy to be back, and I hope you guys like this video. If you are new to my channel, make sure and you hit the subscribe button, tap the bell to get notified when I do a new video. And yeah. And I love this lighting thing. Right, this one right here, that's the light that's staying still, is a galaxy light. Yeah. I was just gonna have the galaxy light, but it was like really dark, so you couldn't see my face. So I added that light. So it kind of looks like fire. But I hope you guys like this video, and let me know what you think down in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next video. But peekaboo, I see you. The creatures are coming to get you. Bye.